should start it like
we
that.
got a couch.
Welcome to the Couch Time Podcast, where we give you tools to connect with your kids and point them to Jesus. We are on a couch, and
I got the time. And this is the Couch Time Podcast.
Steven's got the time.
That was a lame joke.
So for those who are not watching this but listening to us, we're actually on a couch this time, and Steven was holding up a really big clock.
So for real, Couch Time Podcast, where we give you tools to connect with your kids and point them to Jesus, and we got the whole gang together on one couch, kind of two, but
let's
we're on
go.
a couch. It's pretty awesome. This is a special Couch Time episode because we are wrapping up a season and kicking off a new season. So we are ending the school year, August to May, the youth group year. Everybody had their final youth groups for the semester last night, and we're getting ready to start and launch summer. We got summer camps coming up. So tonight, it's not tonight. Today, I want you guys, all of us, I want to give a highlight from the last year, and I want to give some excitements for what is upcoming for your campus. Part of the reason, I think reflecting on past and what has happened and how God has been faithful gives us excitement and confidence for what is coming up. Mm-hmm. And a whole bunch has happened in the last since August.
Yes.
A whole lot. So
when do we get to start our year that we're reflecting on?
Since August.
August?
So specifically, Steven, why don't you kick us off? Give a highlight for student ministry at the Independence campus for the last year.
All right, I have 3 highlights.
Oh, gosh. That's what I like to hear.
Love it.
A highlight. I'll do 3.
Highlight number 1, summer retreat that we got to do in August. So the Independence campus, we got to go with.
Was that in August?
It was in August.
We
did it just with the high school students because we, had numbers that we weren't allowed to go over. We had to be under 40 people, but we got to go on that trip for a weekend with 40 high school students, and that was one of the biggest wins of the ministry year. Just really, some kids got to be open and vulnerable in different group times and cabins. I had some great, not cabins, but they were rooms, had some great conversations.
It was a hunting lodge.
With kids. Worship was amazing. It really was it was the first time we were back in person together with some of our students. So that was a really cool weekend trip that we got to go on. Highlight number 2 was opening the new youth space. That was been something that we've been praying about and talking about ever since we first purchased the old Kroger, was which of these businesses that we could possibly one day move into if they ever went out of business or something happened, and to see that come to fruition and just see how the church and givers of the church blessed the campus.
That's super exciting. Tell everybody maybe he's not aware, when did it come about that you got, because you purchased, Independence did.
Yeah.
So construction or whatever, rehabbed it, and then moved in all in the last year.
Yeah, so January of 2020, we finished construction on the Independence campus. Mm-hmm. Then we got the leasing rights to the new youth space in October or November of 2020, and then we officially opened up the new youth space a couple months ago, or maybe a month ago. I don't really. April. It was in April. Mm-hmm. So seeing that whole process come together was amazing. It was a huge blessing, and it was all from people of the church giving faithfully that allow us to do cool things like that for students, and it's already been a huge blessing of getting to see kids walking by and tell them to come on, check it out. Kids I know from Simon Kinnan have just walked by and came and hung out for a while. So it's been cool to get to kind of be in the community in that way. And then highlight number 3 was last night. Had a great night last night with the students. We did this video scavenger hunt. It was cool to kind of have a final hurrah with the kids, for some seniors to lead some groups, for a couple new leaders were added to the team. And we had multiple people sign up for camp, new faces come. So last night was just a night full of community, full of laughter, new faces, new leaders checking out the student ministry. So it really is cool to see, the process the Lord's taken us throughout the last year and see how he's been faithful through it. So it's been a good year.
That is awesome. Super, super cool. Yeah. You guys, Independence in particular, it's like when you say January 2020, It's like that's just over a year ago,
Right.
that you even launched the campus in the
Yeah.
new space, and then 2020 happened with all of the COVID and political and unrest, and quarantining and all of that. And so to have your own space, to have the community be forming, it's really, really cool. Josh, Ryan, do you guys have a highlight from the last year?
Yeah, Ryan got hired.
Yeah, that is a huge
One of the highlights of my
highlight.
life. Not my ministry, but one of the highlights of my
When
life.
did you
Nice.
start, Ryan?
I started, I think it was the second week of November.
So you're kind of halfway through.
Third week of November.
Yeah.
Yeah. We sold our house on election day in Colorado, and then I moved out here the next day. And so yeah,
That's crazy.
It's been about 6 months now, right?
Woo.
Is that math right? Yeah, which is nuts. It's flown by. So yeah, that's been a highlight. I'm like, what's the highlight for me? I don't know. Getting here,
Moving to Kentucky.
like getting here, moving to Kentucky.
Cicadas.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's a
Upcoming-
low light.
I had
a
to
low
I had to
light.
bring it up. I'm
I feel
sorry.
like I was like, man, this is gonna be tough. I'm really not looking forward to the cicadas. Gosh, all right, I need to move on.
Sorry,
That's
sorry.
all right. You
Shouldn't have brought it
derailed
up.
me. But yeah, highlight moving here, meeting leaders, getting to meet students. I think it's fair to say like it's been a challenge as well in the sense of like COVID and masks. I've had a hard time like remembering names.
Faces, names.
Faces and names, that's been more of a struggle for me. I think because of the map. So anyway, but it's been good.
You didn't know people before masks.
No, totally.
So it's like you only know
yeah,
masks with them. These new people you're trying to get to know since moving here.
for sure. So that was a challenge, I think, but it's been getting better. And I'm excited for. I'm getting ahead of ourselves. Summer camp. I think that'll be really beneficial for me to just like a crash course on getting to know and spend extended amount of time with
Yeah.
students, not just for most kids that I see it's for a few minutes at youth group or trying to reach out to them and hang out with them, but to be able to hang out with all the kids, I think at summer camp is something I'm
Unheard
really looking
extended
forward-
time, yeah.
Totally. So
Yeah.
So how's are we giving 3 highlights or is it just one?
Steven
just
gave
went
3.
off of
You
3.
can give 1, you can give 3, you can give 5. I don't care, man. Give
I'll throw in-
parents a highlight from your campus, your ministry from the last year at some point.
I'll throw in 2 more. I think
Do it.
when I first got here, one of the first youth events we did was prayer night for the high school ministry. And I loved that. It was actually a really nice way to start my time here. Honestly, in prayer, seeing some of the prayer requests that students specifically have, that was really, really cool. So I liked that. And then just a random fun one. I think in the beginning of April, we rented out Defy Trampoline Park. And that was a ton of fun.
Dude, videos on social media looked pretty awesome.
It was a
from
lot
that
of
night you
fun.
guys had.
Ryan did beat me in the whole like jousting.
I had a good comeback
thing,
because
but-
I was getting destroyed at first. I mean, you came charging in. I was taken aback, but yeah, that was fun. So that'd be a third highlight. It was just good to have fun with students after
Yeah.
a hard year.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think in a very serious year, just a little bit of levity and fun with kids.
Yeah.
Fun's the love language of students, and so I think that was nice. So that's
cool.
me. You?
That's great. Yeah, obviously Ryan coming on was a huge answer to prayer. So excited. I think also like our worship leader Jenna.
Oh, yeah.
So she's the worship intern at the Florence campus, and she's also in my community group. She's also a leader in high school ministry, and just being able to have her. I know. But we've been working with Brad Spence a lot, and it's just a lot for him to juggle. Plus, he has community group on that night. So it's just been really awesome to have her help us with that. She's been great. And that's just been awesome.
Yeah, genuinely some of my favorite worship sets I've been a part of. I've been at 3 churches, and the Jenna leading along with some students now has
Yeah.
been very powerful, and Josh Powers too.
Oh, yeah, Joshua Powers.
So-
Yep, for sure.
And they're coming to camp.
Yay!
So-
So yeah, that was really great. Defy was good, but man, I feel like it's been really cool. So after every youth group, I have all the leaders like message me like, "Hey, how'd your groups go? Whatever," and it's just been super cool hearing the kinds of discussions that are being had in groups. Like it's the kinds of questions that come up. It's just like, man, so awesome. So I think that it's just cool that like even in a maybe more serious year, in a more like hindered year to some extent, that didn't stop. That just kept going, and so I was pretty stoked about that.
I my highlight for the year has been so I've been struggling the last few years to try to create a culture where kids really own the ministry and kind of feel a part of it. They come and go, and it's not been like it's not theirs. And for whatever reason, I'm really, really grateful to the Lord who used 2020 to, give them this desire to own it. And I got to see that this past year. So August to last night, most of the high school students, they've just, not out of nowhere because we've been encouraging them to, but they're bringing their friends. Social circles are kind of starting to overlap, and they've just been diving in. They've started serving, and it's been a huge encouragement to see this past year the culture start to shift from what am I going to get from youth group to it's like I've got something to offer. Like I'm investing in, and the high schoolers doing that. I can see the middle schoolers who are excited to be in high school, and I even hear them saying, I can't wait to be at a high school so I can serve, or I want to bring friends because they see other people bringing friends, and it's, it's just a cool thing. So seeing the ownership that students have had this year coming off of 2020 summer quarantine. So it's been really, really cool to see what God's done in many of the students' hearts. They've wanted more depth than before, and I don't know entirely why that is, but I think community really was deepened through 2020 for a lot of different reasons. But it was cool to see some of the fruit from that as we met on Sunday nights at youth group. It says in Psalm 61, it's like God has been faithful to us. He has been our refuge. He has been our help. So it's, Spurgeon says when talking about that verse in Psalm 61, I think it's 2 or 3, but it's like from God's past faithfulness, we can have confidence in present circumstances and even confidence in God for what's going to happen.
Yes.
So I'm curious, what are you guys excited for your ministry, your campus for the summer? So you already said summer camp.
Yes.
What else is Florence High School got going on this summer that you're excited about?
Yeah, after we complete summer camp, we've got two things. We're going to have a weekly Bible study on Wednesday nights, 6 to 7:30 here at the church, calling it Breakfast Club, and we'll serve breakfast.
Breakfast for dinner.
We're doing breakfast for dinner.
Love it.
Different breakfast menu item each week, and we'll study the Bible. So,
Dude, I love it.
And we're going to do Colossians. Colossians is a favorite of mine.
Love Colossians.
So we'll crank through Colossians, study the Bible together, eat some breakfast food. So that's Breakfast Club.
I would just serve Waffle House for every single one.
You would.
Tempted.
Do you have a favorite book of the Bible?
I
love them all equally.
I said a favorite.
all
A
66.
favorite.
He said a favorite. Roll back the tape.
Gosh, I got
You're right.
Jesus
You did
juice
say
by Steven.
His tone, I knew he was coming at you. His tone was like, you only like that one?
Interesting. I'm kidding.
Man, this sense of Pharisaical of Steven over there. Steven, never mind. Okay, so we got Bible
Colossians,
study,
Breakfast Club.
Colossians, Breakfast Club, and then we're doing every other Thursday. We're calling them summer hangouts. We'll do
Nice.
just a fun activity. We're trying to rent out the Fun Dome to roller skate. We'll go putt-putting one time, and then the last one of the summer in early August we'll play a giant the card game Spoons. We'll do a giant spoons competition.
Love it. That's fun.
Yeah, so that's what we got going on. Some fun, some Bible study. We might do some other random things, but
Nice.
it's gonna be a good summer. I'm excited for it.
Josh, middle school summer, what are you
Yep.
excited for?
One of the things I'm just like really excited about aside from camp's actually my favorite part, but in July we're going to start a 6-week Bible study on Exodus 34:6, kind of jumping off from there. So throughout the Bible, God refers to himself as the Lord, a God merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and abounding in steadfast love and faithfulness. he refers to himself that way like 20 times in the Bible. And so we're going to take each one of those and kind of see another story in the Bible where that kind of attribute sort of plays out. So where is he slow to anger and kind of play that out? So we'll pick a different passage each week. So I'm really excited about that.
That's fun.
We're going to go to a park. Laura and I are going to go to South Fork Park. I'm going to hang out there. Honora Ray is going to play on the playground or whatever. And whatever students decide to show up, we'll just go through that passage each week. So I'm pretty
really
excited
cool.
about that.
Yeah.
Great.
That's really, really cool. I'm super excited for the summer. We have something we do every year. We call them summer days at the park, kind of like what you said, Thursday hangout or whatever you're going to do. Kids aren't in school. It's kind of like just a old school, bring whatever you want to have fun at the park, invite your friends. We're there for 3 hours. Get bored, get creative, go climb a tree, I don't know, play a game. And it kind of changes the park that we're at, usually somewhere in the Fort Thomas area. So we've got that, and then we do some other events, canoeing, hiking, some fun stuff. But I'm really excited. The kids are super excited to be done with school. I think
So are teachers.
I think teacher, yeah, but I think NTI maybe. I mean, kids are always excited to be done with school and ready for summer. But for this year, I think it's been such a roller coaster. They're just excited to socially be done and have unhurried time, kind of like you said, to spend time with friends. So summer camp and then, some summer events. I'm really, really excited to relational. You mentioned something earlier. It's fun is the love language of teenagers. I think summer.
Yeah, I was going to make a comment on this. Ryan just threw that in like it was just a normal saying. Just like, fun's the love language of kids. And we moved past it. It was like, that was a huge line. We should have sat on that one for a little bit.
Profundity there of,
Yeah,
I think
awesome.
that's spot
I
on.
got that from somewhere else. Not
Okay, dude,
original.
probably Chris Brown. But all right.
Chris Brown's a pastor. Continue.
Good clarification.
Not
you.
the rapper R&B artist.
Bring it back. So summertime is kind of the fun that really enhances the relationships as we head into youth groups in the fall. So I'm really excited to spend a bunch of unhurried time with the students and leaders building community. So, Stephen, what do you got coming? Independence, anything?
Yeah. Summer for me is really about building upon the community conversations, decisions that happen over camp. So it's camp kind of like springboards us into summer in a lot of ways. So from camp, we're probably going to start different Bible studies. So like I'm going to lead like a guy's high school Bible study. I'll have a girl's high school Bible study going, middle school Bible study. So those will be dependent upon their leader about when they will happen. But any way that we can get students in community together going through scripture in smaller groups over the summer is really important to me because it shows kids how to lead a Bible study, not just a teaching session, but hopefully I'll have some of the students be like, hey, you lead this week, and just kind of lead conversations around a table talking about scripture, which hopefully carries on for lifelong, just continuing to study God's word with friends and people you love. So we'll be doing that. We'll talk to kids about what times those will be or days those will be, depending upon their leader, and then we'll be doing like one a week. Different hangouts or sessions. So we'll go putt, we'll go play kickball. We'll do different events that will be every week that we'll announce that'll be for everyone to come together. And the Bible studies will be kind of split up depending upon their leader and age group. So
it's super cool. So we've all had different years at our campuses. We've all got some different things. We're all doing camp, but we all have some different things happening at each campus, each ministry this summer. But for listeners, we exist, we want to partner with you as you parent your kid, and we want to offer you tools. And so we hope that this will be something that you can talk about with your kids, talk about the past year, talk about what they're grateful for that happened in the last year, the good, the bad, the ugly, and what are they excited for coming this summer? Who are they excited to spend time with? Would they maybe want to lead a Bible study or go to one? Who could they invite? It's going to be a good summer, and I think part of that is us being intentional about what we want to get out of it. And you can talk to your kids about what do they want to get out of summer, how do they want to spend their time, what do they want to look back on summer in August and say it was a good summer. So we're excited. We're planning some stuff, and we want to try to help the parents at our church, at our campuses. As you raise your kids, we want to give you tools to connect with them, point them to Jesus. Part of that is this podcast. This is the last episode for this. Thank you for the spring semester. So we're going to take the next couple weeks off, and then in the summer, something else that I hope parents are excited about. We've talked about it, but it's a book discussion that we're all going to be doing on engaging your teen's world. I can't remember the authors right off the bat, but super cool book, very excellent resource, very practical. That starts on June.
Starts in June
7th, I think.
First week of June.
First week of June.
Yeah.
Podcast is going to be doing a book discussion. So tune in. You can find the resource online or at the Florence campus in the Resource Center if you want. But we love you guys. Reach out to us if you have any questions or we can help you in any way. So goodbye.
Peace.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching.
You can follow us on Instagram at the Couch Time Podcast.
Let us know what you thought about the podcast. Also, let us know if there's any topics or things you'd like us to cover. You can comment and email us at podcast@graceky.org.
Please like, subscribe, and share the video with other parents.